Hey y'all. So we are going to be taking a look at Litha into Lammas season and ahead. So with Litha, right, we're coming out of summer solstice on June 21st, and we are sitting within the watery well of our own emotional cores during this time. This is very much about self-reflection, right? If you think about it, in the northern hemisphere, we are in a time of Litha, which is very watery and really sitting with our emotions. But then at our counterpoint in the wheel of the year, those in the southern hemisphere are at the time of Yule, aka Christmas time, which is also a time of reflection, just through a different lens. So no matter where you are in the world, whether it's northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, Litha is very much about really sitting with how you feel from a place of reflection and non-resistance, being willing to sit with whatever arises from a place of stillness. It's really about the emotions, the emotional core, without necessarily taking any steps or trying to figure out how to fix anything or alter anything or how to shift one emotion from, one thing to another. It's really just about acceptance of the emotions as they currently are and really sitting with those. Sometimes doing so can lead to questions, right? Not necessarily questions that lead to answers either. Sometimes it's just sitting with our emotions and having questions, which then spawn other questions, which then spawn other questions. But it's a really beautiful opportunity to really live in those questions and consider the aspects within us that are emotionally charged from a place of curiosity and non-judgment. So that's why. Then we move into Lammas, which is a time of getting ready to reap that harvest, honey, for even that comes in November, right? It's toward the height of the summer season here in the northern hemisphere. It's very warm. We're kind of, winding down the end of summer, and a way it becomes more intense heat-wise, but we're kind of, taking a look out to autumn going, okay, well, the harvest is coming, so let's just slow our roll a bit and just really be grateful for what we have, where we've been, our experiences up until this point, until we go into the autumnal equinox in the following month, which begins our wind down towards the end of the year, right? And remember, this is around the time where we're getting ready and gearing up for the days to begin to shorten in length in a really noticeable way. So it's interesting around that time of equinox and going into the autumn time, then it's sort of like one last abundant hurrah, where we're going, yes, like this is wonderful. This is where there's plenty of fruit, there's plenty of veg, there's plenty of food. Everything is in abundance. We even have an abundance of time. This is usually when we have time from work off. School is usually not in session. It's a time where we can really sit down and really appreciate taking things a little bit more slowly, and also, sharing that joy, sharing the sun, being at, its height in the sky and giving us warmth from a place of excitement and joy. Because it's an exciting point as well, because when we are just before the autumnal equinox, we are coming up to the harvest and the holiday season and going back to school and all of those things. It's an exciting time because that's also, a time of year where we have a lot of holidays, and there's an aspect of like, okay, it's like a fresh new start within a fresh new start, right? We're ending the summer, we're going back to work or back to school, and then we're going in through a time which leads to Samhain, and if you're in America, Thanksgiving, and Yule/Christmas, and New Year's resolutions, and the New Year, and all of these things. So it's kind of like let's just relax and really enjoy being where we are as much as we possibly can before the rest of the year unfolds and we're back into the groove of a lot going on. So this is really such a beautiful, very special time period where we are not just asked, but encouraged to really move a little bit more slowly and be exactly where we are from a place of pleasure, right? In the southern hemisphere, with that Yule energy, we're asked to move more slowly, but from a place of introspection, right? But this is really about pleasure, really enjoying being outside, feeling the heat, enjoying the downtime, and enjoying the time before things really rev up and it feels like a bit of a speeding train into the end of the year, and then we're into a whole new year. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm really going to enjoy this time because I know what's coming. There's a lot to be excited for, a lot of holidays coming up, but the food is plentiful right now. The harvest is going to be coming in, and I really can take this time to just enjoy, sit with my emotions as they are from a place of curiosity and non-judgment, and just soak in the sun and the energy and the stillness. It's kind of those, lazy, languid days of summer energy around July and so it's such a treat. It's such a beautiful time period to be within. And with that being said, I'm wishing you all such a beautiful Litha and Lammas. I really love doing this series, relatively new series, where we're looking at 2 months ahead within the context of the wheel of the year, because if we can be aware of what nature is doing, the cycles of nature within a wheel of the year context, then that empowers us to really work with that given energy and get more out of it. As a result, just like they did, pre-industrial revolution, when we align ourselves to nature's cycles, we have a more fully embodied and enriched and empowered. I'm really excited to keep sharing that with you guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this Litha and Lammas. Hey Sagittarians, let's go ahead and take a look at your animal energy for this Litha into Lammas line this season. I did a brief meditation for you, and it's really interesting because I saw the image of a fly, like a common house fly, and I was taken, like a magnifying glass was put on it, and I heard the words, the intimate life of a fly. And then I saw the image of a fly on the wall. Like, that saying, like, oh, if only I could be a fly on the wall and that conversation happens. And then I saw the image of a screen door and the fly being kind of on the screen door. And it's interesting because what I'm getting from this fly is that there's something about you being a fly on the wall, being the exact perfect position for you during this time. It's interesting because in the Northern Hemisphere, it is summertime, right? So definitely going to be flies about. But it's interesting because there's an aspect of, I remember in your eye reading that we just did, you being sort of as Artemis, as Diana, on the hillside, looking out and with an obstructed view and sort of like knowing where your mark is going to be just from feeling. There was a skunk imagery there. So there's a removed aspect of that, right? Slightly removed, right? Up above, getting a different perspective. And now we have a fly where the fly's perspective is very unique unto itself. The fly is able to perceive things that other animals or humans or other beings cannot. There's something about being just ever so slightly removed to get a bigger perspective that feels really sweet, is the way that it's coming across. So let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is with that. It feels, but like a fly on the wall is your perfect position. Something about that. Oh my goodness, another flying creature. Fascinating, Sagittarius. So you have the bee here. Really, really interesting, the insect realness here. So bee, this is beautiful. First of all, this is air energy coming in for you. The bee is very much about teamwork and the work that we do. It aligns with the Three of Pentacles energy, right? Which is very much about the master artisan, the work that we particularly are good at, right? There's also an aspect of the community and serving the greater good and serving the whole. So what's really fascinating about this, and what I'm getting drawn to about the bee, is that the bee, they all live to serve the queen, right? The hierarchy of bees, right? They all live to serve the queen. But if you think about it, like each bee, right, it's less about their own experience and more about serving the collective good. And then I think about the fly being just outside of the action, being able to be a part of what's going on from a place of observation and not like in the moment upfront action. They're not on the stage of the play that's going on, right? They're backstage. There's something about that. And then we have the bee coming in here. That's about, serving the collective and the work that you do. Three of Pentacles energy. what work that you do is going to have long-lasting effects and being around long after you're gone. It's fascinating. You know, I'm getting called to talk about as well, like the difference between 3 of Pentacles energy and 8 of Pentacles energy is that 3 of Pentacles energy, when you are engaged in work that is a 3 of Pentacles energy, you are doing work that does not feel like work. It's work that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it, right? When you love what you do, it isn't work. That's the saying, right? Versus 8 of Pentacles energy, yes, you enjoy your work, and yes, you be well compensated, and all the work that you do pays off. But that's an aspect of like worker bee in terms of like really putting in the hours and the intention, the focus. This is about enjoying your work to the point where it just like time flies and it doesn't feel like work at all. So it's really fascinating. There's something about being just outside of like it's the backstage. Backstage is the key. It's really, really interesting. But also the aerial perspective, being in the air, being a flying creature. There's something about the perspective that you have access to from a place of observation. Observation is key. You're being called to observe. Oh, perfect. Major arcana here with the Ark of the Covenant. So first of all, with this beautiful fire energy here for you, which is brilliant as you're a fire sign, so I feel like that's a nod. You know, the Ark of the Covenant is really fascinating because on one hand, it means that you're exactly where you're meant to be. We can all breathe a sigh of relief. You're exactly where you're meant to be. I'll tell you. Of the readings that I do when I do personal readings, and of the questions that I get, it's, am I where I'm supposed to be? Like, am I on my best path? That's what it is, right? And this is that. The Ark of the Covenant is, yes, you're exactly on your best path. You're where you're meant to be. So brilliant. But the other aspect of the Ark of the Covenant, see how it's like 2 people talking? There's an aspect of collectively sharing your experience with others around you. So if you're exactly where you're meant to be, then that means you're surrounded by the exact people that you're meant to be surrounded by. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek the way that I'm wording this, but if you are in your best position, then you're within your best grouping, which is interesting with the bee energy as well, right? But these 2 people are discussing those deep philosophical questions about what it means to be alive, what it means to be, you know, on Earth at this time, all of these things, these fireside conversations, right? It's interesting given the collective energy as well, right? It's really, really interesting, Sagittarius, really interesting. What else is going on? Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, it speaks of soul contracts and you fulfilling them, which is really nice. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. You got the Queen of Scrolls. So this is really cool because the Queen of Scrolls, the beautiful air energy here, this is most closely equates to the Queen of Swords in the Tarot. But this speaks of an aspect of learning, of acquiring knowledge and information. Now, what did we say about the fly on the wall? If only I could be a fly on the wall for that conversation, right? It's gaining knowledge through the art of observation. Knowledge through the art of observation. That's what this feels like. And then we have the Queen of Swords, Queen of Scrolls coming in here. She's all about observation, right? This is about acquiring knowledge. See that light at the center of her head, right? It's about acquiring knowledge and wisdom through the lens of learning and, like we said, observation, but also through the art and practice of study, of doing your homework, of planning, of paying attention to the details. I'm telling you, there's something about this housefly. Like I'm telling you, there's something about you are really being called to observe your situation, observe your surroundings, observe the people around you. I feel like there are opportunities for a shift in perspective or enlightenment, or is going to positively impact your work. It's a series of observations, or one significant observation that is going to be available to you during this time. And you're really being asked to be a true Sagittarius about it and like really soak in that knowledge. You guys love to learn. You're adventure seekers who love to learn. And you're really being called upon to be a fly about it. Look at it from that lens. Observe. I'm also hearing the whole point of this, listen more than you speak. Okay? I'm telling you, the gold is in the listening. Okay? This is amazing. Wow. Fascinating. Okay, first of all, I can't tell you the number of times this has come out today. So it speaks to the collective energy. It's brilliant. So this is 3 of Scrolls, setting your course. Please note the rainbow and the clear sky. So it relates to a 10 of Cups energy, but this is about there's been a storm. It's kind of like your eye reading where the vision has been impaired, and then suddenly the course clears and you're able to see where you're going. So what's really interesting about this is that it's storyboarding as follows. You're exactly where you're meant to be, surrounded by who you're meant to be surrounded by. Really practice and perfect the art of observation while listening more than you speak, and in doing so, gain the knowledge. Right? Get that information, welcome those insights, really pursue the areas of study or the areas of research that you feel called to at this time. Whether this is book recommendations that come through, whether this is planning for something that you get inspired to plan for, whether this is like financial goal setting, like for the year ahead, whatever it is, take the time to really get those nuts and bolts in order, those I's dotted, those T's crossed, right? Again, this is something that this is active that you can do with and for yourself. It feels incredibly important. And then you have it setting your course. Doing so, right, allows the path ahead to be highly visible with that rainbow. The 10 of Cups happiness going, you are continuing down. I feel like the Spirit is saying, well done. You're exactly where you're meant to be. You're on your path. Take this time to really acknowledge that, right? And know that you are being called to really observe and get the points and facts and little details in order with whatever that means to you. But I feel like there's information coming to you at this time. And Spirit is saying, don't miss it. You're trying to talk or be the center of something or be more actively engaged in things that you would get more out of by being just 1 degree separated from and just watch, listen, learn, perceive. And something about that allows your path forward to be even more unobstructed and clear. You're able to see more. See how this person is seeing? We're talking about observation. Something about that. Let's go ahead and get your advice. Why don't we, though? Advice for Sagittarius. Oh, wow. Good gosh, you're really bringing the point home here. So we have the mouse with the Hierophant. The Hierophant. It's really beautiful. Well, it's really brilliant because mouse medicine, mouse energy, they're able to see things from a perspective that no other animal can. They're able to get in and out of places without being seen if they so choose. Do you get the theme here? It's really interesting. So the Hierophant, beautiful Taurus energy. What I love about this is your advice is that this says, trust that everything is exactly as it's meant to be, and everything will continue to be exactly as it's meant to be. You've not made a wrong turn. All your choices have been in alignment. There's no tower moments that need to happen, at least no major ones, right? You're on the right path. Everything as it's meant to be. Keep going. Keep going. But I am hearing nurture your own dream and potential. There's something that's calling you to give focus to the work that you really love to do with this beat energy here. It is incredibly important. You know, this could be the act of like learning from others or observing others that helps inspire you and propels you to new heights with this work that you are here to do, right? That you love to do. It's part of your soul purpose. This is really beautiful. The Hierophant's also about, marriage and coming together and formal agreements. So I do feel like there's something coming through for you in the terms of like a formal offer, a contract, a settlement, a potential, an employment contract, an offer of some sort. It's key here. I feel like that's coming to you. So it's just about taking this time to just like gather information and allow yourself to be inspired. And again, through truly perfect the art of observation. And in doing so, it's going to align your vision. See how that forehead is gleaming, that third eye? It's going to align your vision so that you are able to view the unobstructed path forward, right? It's like, let's get this third eye open so that you can see really, really clearly, right? Interesting. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. Oracle for Sagittarius. Oracle for Sagittarius. Oh, hello. Freedom. What is this? I'm so obsessed with this. So first of all, we have another winged creature here. It's all about it. Do you see how this woman is literally sitting off to the side and allowing this dove to come and land on her? It's brilliant. Now, if there was ever a keyword for Sagittarius, I think it might be freedom, right? You guys are all about that free spirit, wild adventure, and spontaneity, and all of those pleasures of life, right? You guys are a lot about questions as well, which is really beautiful. You guys have a way of tapping into questions that no one else could possibly see coming or word for themselves. So you have the ability to expand other people's consciousness in a way. It's really unique to you. It's really, really beautiful. Freedom. So this is brilliant because freedom is all about allowing yourself to operate from a place of full trust and no fear. Full trust, no fear. Also, the dove is a symbol of love, right? And it's interesting because when I said tower moments, in experience, when tower moments happen, for the most part, right, there's always exceptions, but for the most part, they happen when we've made more fear-based choices than love-based choices. And then you have a dove here, a symbol of love coming in, full freedom because you are choosing from a place of love and trust and not fear. And it's so beautiful. And I feel like Spirit is looking at you and going this time is yours, right? This time is yours. Use it as you will, but through the art of observation and being 1 degree separated, soak in that knowledge, right? Or really allow your vision to be aligned from a place of, passivity or inwardness, right? And as a result, it's just going to align you on your path forward in such a beautiful and direct, and I'm hearing ease-filled way. It's really beautiful, Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius. I'm so here for it. I'm also hearing one last thing. For those teachers, the great ones, the Buddha, the Dalai Lama, the people, the teachers, the people in positions of power who help heal the world, the big healers, the big philosophical thinkers, they only become that way, or they're only able to step fully into that role because they've listened so much first. They spent a lot of time listening to other people's wisdom, right? Before they could then turn around and share wisdom from their own unique perspectives. Something in that for you. With that being said, Sagittarius, I'm sending you so much love and blessings for this season. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please do let me know in the comments below, because I absolutely love reading your comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would so appreciate that. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.